What's up, my nuggets? MisterFantasmo here, bringing you a little multi-team TDM on Aftermath, everybody's favorite map. I feel like Aftermath is the same as Underpass on Modern Warfare 3. Everybody hates it. I don't know why. I have equal love for all the maps because I'm a nice guy, and I don't like to, I don't like to do. Sometimes you go and do things and you regret them later. Hating maps, nothing good ever comes out of it. Then, if you love every map, you're always excited when the map pops up and you scream and prance like a little girl around your room. And what good is Call of Duty if not for that? So, basically, I'm just going to be running around with my partners, and we are just going to be totally perusing through these shelving cabinets and areas. The thing about people hate this. When people hate maps, they tend not to, since we now have the vote system in Call of Duty, you tend not to play them that much. So I actually wasn't even aware that this went pretty much through the whole area of the map. See, I thought it just kept going down and up here, but I eventually see that I observe the other door, and I go out there and do some things, but was back to using the AN-94 because it's probably my favorite gun. And usually when I see, and then I saw that guy come over there, I was like, how the heck did he get over there? And I don't know. I'm figuring it out. I don't know where my brain is at this moment in time in the game, but usually when I get guns golden, I'm just like, I'm done with it. Time to move on to the next one. Unfortunately, and I don't know why. I don't know why my brain's like that. Maybe some of you share that same thought process with me, but yeah, it's natural. It's just a natural human instinct. So I was thinking the other day that about the word natural, and about how it's really what is really classified as natural. That's what I want to know, because technically aren't we natural? Aren't we from nature? So wouldn't we be natural? And then therefore everything we make, isn't that also natural because it's coming from us? Like if a beaver builds a dam, the dam is still part of nature, right? You wouldn't call that, you wouldn't be like, oh my god, that's not natural what he's doing over there. It's just, farting out sticks and kicking them with his back legs, and flapping them with his beaver tail. I'm pretty sure that's how beavers make dams. And if you saw that, you'd be like, oh yeah, that's natural, and you'd just go about your merry way. Unless he was doing it in like the middle of a street or something, then you'd have to take him to beaver camp, which is about a 4 or 5 day camp, depending on how far gone the beavers are. And it's basically a rehabilitation type system where you use a lot of shock therapy, and it can result in negative results, but most of the time we've got it down to a pretty good science that it's gonna get your beaver back on track, and that, my friends, is called success and science at work. So if you want to do that, just look it up in your local yellow pages. Lots of beaver rehabilitation centers all around. But anyways, so a beaver builds a dam. That's natural. If I go out and build a tree house, it's not. It's the opposite of natural, which that word completely escapes me right now. But you know that word, opposite of natural, unnatural, I guess, or artificial, or I don't know. I guess, So, but it was weird because I was thinking about that, and then just today in my geology class, we were talking about it. We were talking about natural things, and my professor, who was like this super hardcore, which I feel like every scientist should be. If you're gonna be a scientist or like a science teacher, you should be like I want you to be extreme science teacher. I don't want you to be like, oh well, yeah, science is nice, but I also like history too. I want you to be like, no, screw history. Science is the only subject that I like, and that's why I'm teaching it. I want you to be hardcore parkour about your teaching habits. That's what I look for in a professor. So, and this guy was no exception. And he's like we were talking about minerals, and we were talking about all the dumb stuff that you talked about in geology class. And he was talking about water, and he said that water, if you make ice Like if you go to Antarctica and you see a glacier and you take a big chunk of ice off that and you lick it, you're basically licking nature, right? Because it's natural. It's from a glacier, and this is all paraphrased and reworded completely. He didn't really. This is not how he said it, but this is just how I like to remember things. So you lick a glacier, you're licking nature. But if you go and you put water in your freezer and make ice, that's not natural anymore. That's synthetic. You just made synthetic ice, and now you're using synthetic ice in your drinks. So you can't classify that as natural. And I was just befuddled by this. I was befuddled by this statement. And then he also said things like, if you find a tooth or something in a rock, like from an animal or from a human, for the sake of this argument, we'll say, like, if you find a human's tooth, or maybe just like a skull, and like you know when you go in your backyard and you find like ancient ruins with skulls and crossbows in them, well, those are part of nature, because I don't know why. I have no clue why that is how it is. But that's what he was saying. And then he's saying, but if I were to just take my skull and somehow take it out of my head and show it to you guys, I would. Well, he wouldn't be able to say this, but we would probably have to say, hey, that's not natural. That's artificial, or that's I don't know. I don't even know what you would call that. I don't even know what word. It was completely. It was amazing to me that this guy would stand here and just stand by this crazy thing that, I mean, he assumed to believe it, and I mean, I don't know. I guess I thought I knew better than to think that two of the same things, just in different areas from different time periods. I don't know if it's a matter of time or what, but I don't know. It really messes with the old noggin. And it makes you think. So it makes you think. And when your mom says go out and play with nature, just you gotta go out and play. You gotta just freeze some ice and eat it or something. So that's really that's what I was trying to get at. The moral of the story. But I don't know. My brain, maybe my brain just can't understand it. It's been fried. Been playing a lot of Diablo 3, freaking hardcore mode, man. Just totally getting at it, and not the hardcore Diablo mode, but I'm actually trying. I am streaming tonight again. It was fun last night, but it's gonna be even more fun tonight because I made this thing. It's called Diablingo, if you will, and everybody knows bingo. So the thing about last night when I was streaming is a lot of people tuned into the stream and they were like, oh, well, I mean, I wanted to see a stream, but I have no clue what's going on in bingo. So I basically made this so it would simplify it to a certain extent for people who don't even know about Diablo. They can still follow along. And basically what I did is I made a big a bingo board with a bunch of legendaries in it, and the legendaries are like really hard items to find. And so me and my buddy Matt, we're going to play together, and when somebody finds a legendary, if it's on the list, then they get to mark it off, and then whoever gets bingo first has to give the other person all the legendaries that they find. So I hope it's boiled down enough to even if you're not like a fan of Diablo or a fan of anything, you can still watch what we're doing and have fun with us. Not to mention, you can just listen to all the chat and all the hooligans in the stream. Bunches of fun times. So if you want to come out to the stream tonight, that will probably be starting by the time this video goes up or shortly thereafter. So go and head over and say hello, and I will say hello back, because that's the way the cookie crumbles. This is MisterFantasmo signing out. Peace, Nuggets.